It's Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road again tonight here at the Memorial Coliseum, Corpus Christi, Texas. As you can see the crowd filtering into the Coliseum, they're wrapped about a city block around the building trying to get in for the television matches here tonight. 2 six-man tag team matches lined up for you. It's Austin Idol will team up with El Madril and Killer Brooks to take on the American Force and the Hitman David Patterson. The other six-man, it's Big Bubba, the Moon, and Bobby Duncum against the Zambui Express, Hacksaw Higgins, and the Ugandan giant Kamala. And don't forget that big main event live for television tonight here in Corpus Christi. The cage will be put up around the ring, and locked inside will be Scott Casey against Chris Adams. A lot of excitement in the air here at the Memorial Coliseum tonight. And in the background, you hear the sounds of Bruiser Brody arriving. Nobody else comes to a wrestling match in this style as Bruiser Brody, as the Metatrans ambulance has arrived. And out are the attendants outside the Memorial Coliseum here in Corpus Christi. And as the doors open, it's just what you expect. Out comes the gurney. And out comes the man getting prepared for tonight as he has the 2x4 in his wrestling bag, and Gary Hart and Bruiser Brody have arrived.
The $1 Million Man is here on the bayfront, you see. We're right here at Corpus Christi. I wish y'all could be here. And Bruiser Brody has come for a night's work. You see, and he ain't like a lot of people when he goes to the arena. He makes preparations. You see, come here, gentlemen, come here. Here is our assistants and ambulance attendants. You know this gentleman well. Would you give me your name again, please?
Yeah, it's Richard Jones, Metatrans Ambulance Service.
And they are prepared to take care of any kind of problem that Bruiser Brody's partners or opponents are going to run into. See, even me, a couple times I got whacked with him when he gets on the road. So that's why we have employed these gentlemen to come all the way from San Antonio, Texas, at our expense, right here to Corpus Christi, right here in front of this beautiful building. Right out over there is the beautiful golf, and right here is terror. This is real terror, brother, because anytime, I don't care if your name is Big Bubba, I don't care if your name is Kamala, I don't care if your name is the American Force, I don't care who you call yourself in the wrestling business. When you get in the ring with the $1 Million Man, it's horrible. It's going to be the worst experience in your life. But remember, Bruiser Brody uses this stretcher for 2 reasons. One, to carry his suitcase on, and the other one, to put his opponents on. But when it's over tonight in Corpus, someone will be wheeled out, put in the back of this ambulance, and whisked away down Shoreline Boulevard. Because it's going to happen anytime Bruiser Brody is around. Trouble is lurking, isn't it?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the $1 Million Man with Gary Hart. They've arrived here to Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi for Texas All-Star Wrestling. And we're going into the ring for that opening match inside.
It's warm down here, Corpus Christi.
Star 86 will be in Corpus Cove on Friday, January the 17th. Like to see all you great fans in Corpus Cove and Killeen and the surrounding area. Texas All-Star Wrestling 86 television on the road at the Mayburn Civic Center in Temple on Wednesday, January the 22nd, 7:30 starting time. The complete television crew will be at the Mayburn Civic Center for the Texas Cup matches, and here are the Texas Cup stars you'll be seeing at the Mayburn Civic Center for the television program. The $1 Million Man, Bruiser Brody, the Ugandan giant Kamala, the Zambui Express, that's both of them, almost 900 pounds, the Wild Samoans from the WWF, seeking off. Also from the WWF, the Tonga Kid, the Mighty Zulu from Africa, Big Bubba from Texas All-Star, and American Force from Texas All-Star, The Wild Bull Ayala comes from Central America. The Hitman David Patterson and Chris Adams. Other great stars will be at the Mayburn Civic Center for the Texas Cup. Texas All-Star Wrestling Television on the road. On Wednesday, January the 22nd, advance tickets at the Civic Center. Come on out, enjoy the program, and watch yourself on television from Temple, Texas. Coming in here now, incomparable Gary Hart. And Gary Hart, the $1 Million Man, will be in the Texas Cup in Temple.
The Texas Cup coming to Temple, Texas. Last time the big Bruiser, Brody, and myself were there, we beat that Kamala till he looked like a dog. And remember how you cheered us. Remember how you screamed, "Go, Brody, go! Go, Brody, go!" We didn't do it for you, though. We did it for ourselves. Just like on the 22nd, stars of the Texas Cup. In Temple, we're going to be the winners. And if you don't believe it, sit yourself down ringside and watch it happen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're picking up the bell here on Texas All-Star Wrestling for a six-man tag team match. It's Al Madril, Austin Idol, and Killer Brooks against the American Force and the Hitman David Patterson here at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi as Texas All-Star Wrestling is on the road. And here with me is the General Scandor Akbar, who is interested in this six-man tag team match because his combination goes in the ring later on here today for a six-man tag team match.
Well, without a doubt, Steve Sachs, Texas All-Star Wrestling is rapidly becoming the hotbed of wrestling all across the country. Now you have 6 of the top super heavyweights in the business right here in this squared circle right now, and the competition is fierce, it's keen, it's every man for himself as far as teams go. But I can tell you one thing, you can size up the teams that are in the ring, but you've got to know that the General and Devastation Incorporated with Kamala, Kareem Muhammad, the Zambui Express, and Hacksaw Higgins is just unbeatable as far as the combination. One other thing before I let it get away from my mind, Steve Sachs, I've got the other Elijah Muhammad, and that's the second Zambui Express that I have talked about earlier on Texas All-Star Wrestling. He will be coming to join forces with Kareem Muhammad, and can you imagine the package that Devastation Incorporated has right now?
That's going to be a tough, and we look forward, General, to see your combination in the ring here later on Texas All-Star Wrestling. Right now, there are some big men in the ring. As you see the Hitman laying on the rope, Austin Idol. This is his first appearance live for Texas All-Star Wrestling, and it's here at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi. He has a few words with the Hitman. I'll tell you, look at the size of that Hitman.
Of course, the Austin Idol is a KJ veteran, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying a little intimidation here with David Patterson, and of course, I think David's retaliated a little bit. Oh!
Idol found Patterson stepping out of the way, and it was Idol going in between the ropes. Six-man tag team action. The American Force, the Hitman's partner, and that American Force has to be the #1 tag team in the world today.
No doubt about it. They're fast, making a name for themselves. Of course, getting back to this, the six-man tag championship of the state of Texas. You know, January the 12th is going to be a memorable evening. A memorable evening. And I'm certainly looking forward to bringing Devastation Incorporated to Joe and Harry, the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio on January the 12th. Now mark that down in your calendar, people, because that's going to be a night to remember.
That's going to be the finals of the Texas six-man tag team championship. We'll be crowning new champions that night. And you're getting a look at 4 teams here tonight, and I'm talking about 4 big teams. But on the 12th in San Antonio at the Freeman Coliseum, there are 7 teams entered for that championship final.
And that makes the competition even more fierce, Steve Stack. That makes the men, you've got to dig down in your guts, and you've got to come up with all the intestinal fortitude that you can, because when you're in that squared circle, it's every man for himself. And there you see, as I've said before, Austin Idol is a very, very cagey veteran, and now he's using his ring savvy with the American Force.
Shawn Michaels of the American Force.
Shawn Michaels. And I want to elaborate one more time later on in this program, the General and Devastation And we'll be going up a guy, I believe it's Big Bubba, the one-man game, and Bobby Duncum. You know, Bobby Duncum has continually stuck his nose in my business since he's been here. And, you know, Bobby Duncum's going to be in for an education as well as the one-man gang and Big Bubba.
Now in the ring, exciting action in this six-man tag team match. I want to tell you that January of '86 starts the year out for Texas All-Star Wrestling 86. Bigger than, better than any wrestling promotion in the world. It's right here with Texas All-Star Wrestling. I want to tell all you fans over in Temple, Texas, that in 2 weeks, Texas All-Star Wrestling's cameras will be at the Mayburn Civic Center in Temple on the 22nd. It's a Wednesday night.
Oh, that's going to be another night to remember. You know, Texas All-Star Wrestling, wherever in any arena that Texas All-Star Wrestling appears, that you've got the greatest wrestling action in the world today.
Over the top rope, excuse me, General. It looked like they threw him over the top rope. There were two referees, but I think both of them were distracted, and it was over the top rope. It is Shawn Michaels out on the floor. His partners there, Paul Diamond, and, of course, the hitman, David Patterson. They battled it out with Austin Idol, Killer Brooks, and Al Madril. Anytime we have a tag team match, whether it be a six-man or a four-man tag team match, Texas All-Star Wrestling will be having two referees.
Well, I think that's a very, very good idea, Steve Sachs. I believe all the National Wrestling Alliance members or whatever are trying to initiate this procedure because naturally two referees are better than one in the ring any time. And, you know, the outcome of tonight's matches would have somewhat of a bearing on January the 12th, and I can't keep emphasizing this January the 12th because at Joe and Harry Freeman Coliseum, that's going to be one of the biggest nights in the Alamo City's history of wrestling.
Sure is. We're going to have new Texas six-man tag team champions. These are preliminary matches. Semifinals is what these are. And we have two semifinal matches here tonight. There's a tag, Austin Idol, tagging out the killer Tim Brooks here on Texas All-Star Wrestling.
Steve Sachs, if you'll excuse me now, I must go and prepare my team. And you people will see Devastation Incorporated in action, the greatest organization of its kind in the history of professional wrestling.
Thank you very much, General. We'll be talking to the General Scandor Akbar later on as Paul Diamond is tagged in, and he goes to work. Paul Diamond. Really? Now we have all six men in the ring. Here goes Austin Idol being thrown out by the hitman. Madril is thrown into Diamond. Brooks knocks Diamond out of the ring, and it's Brooks and Shawn Michaels in the ring. Killer Brooks and Shawn Michaels. Everybody else has been knocked out. Here comes Diamond back up. He's crawling up on the top rope. Diamond dives. Diamond hooks Brooks. Diamond 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, Paul Diamond comes flying to the air. Rolls up Killer Brooks, and they get the victory. That's the American Force and a hitman. But Madril, Brooks, and Austin Idol not satisfied, and I can see why. They're hot. There's no way they thought they'd ever lose this six-man tag team match, but they did. And they're still battling it out in the ring. Somebody throws something in the crowd as the Honorable Armand Hussein is down there at ringside, and he gets the dousing with a cold drink. But there you have it, the American Force and the Hitman, the winner. Stay tuned because we'll be back with another exciting match right after this.
This is Scott Casey. I want you to stay tuned to this program because I'm going to beat the stuffings out of that Chris Adams in a cage match.
The dressing room now at the Hemisfair Arena, where this past week we interviewed Wahoo McDaniel as he came from the ring, where he was involved in the six-man tag team match. He was teamed up with a one-man gang in Big Bubba. They met Austin Idol, Killer Brooks, and the $1 million man, Bruiser Brody. Here's the chief himself. Wahoo McDaniel, I couldn't believe what I saw here tonight, that match, you and Bruiser Brody. Last time you were in Texas, I believe you and Bruiser Brody were friends.
Well, you know, anybody, I've been friends with Brody, and evidently he's decided to look the other way, and he's done some things that I don't really agree with. He wants to come back here. I know Texas, he's made it his home, but Brody, Texas is my home also. And, the man used to be my friend. I'm not going to say he didn't because he's helped me in some situations that I needed help. But now, after seeing some of the things he's done, he's just like anybody else, man. When the money gets high enough, the offer gets good enough, then he switches allegiance. Well, I tell you, I don't like a man like that. You can't trust a man like that. Now, he wants to be the #1 man here in San Antonio. He let all these fans down tonight, and he wanted to push me around. He thinks because I'm not quite as tall as him and not quite as big as him. Well, Brody, I'm going to tell you one thing. I might not be as tall as you. Weight-wise, I'm pretty close to you. And you ought to know by now, I've been around just about as much as you have. I've went in these beer joints. I've had fights in there. I've fought my way in and out. And, fear doesn't really bother me. But to lose a friendship when somebody bids higher for you, that really galls me. And San Antonio has always been a good place for me. The fans have been great here, and they deserve more than what you're giving them. Now, the 150th Centennial of Texas, brother, I've been gone a long time. I'm coming home to Texas. I'm coming home to stay. This is going to be my home from now on. And, Brody, Texas is a big, big place, but I just don't believe it's big enough for you and me. So when I come back here, I'm bringing all my stuff with me. And I plan on making this my permanent home. So you better get to training. You better figure out some way to stop me, to get rid of me, to hurt me. Because I guarantee you, I'm coming back to stay. And, Brody, when I get here, you're going to have to leave the state of Texas.
Chief, I believe like you, I think it's the $1 million that Gary Hart put up front that has changed Bruiser Brody, and I know you'd like to get him in that Texas Cup final.
Well, right now, the Texas Cup final's not bothering me. It's Brody punching me with that stick, trying to knock my head right off, and selling his allegiance for $100,000. Sure, that's a lot of money. But I guarantee you one thing, a man that sells his pride for $100,000 can't be too much to start with. $1 million, well... Still, a man that sells his pride for $1 million is not much. And I know Gary Hart, that's the way he's got to everybody, through their pocketbook. But I'm going to tell you, I'm coming to Texas. And, Brody, Texas is not big enough for you and me. And you can count on it. One of us is going to leave.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Chief Wahoo McDaniel is coming back to Texas for Bruiser Brody. Next week, here on Texas All-Star Wrestling, we'll be showing you exactly what happened as the $1 million man run into Wahoo McDaniel. And now, let's go to the ring here at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi and pick up our next match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Nolte with the introductions as we pick up Mark Youngblood against Danny Gage. I tell all you fans in Temple, Texas, Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road to Mayburn Civic Center in Temple on Wednesday, the 22nd of January. The stars will be there for the Texas Cup, and I'm talking about a lot of stars. Mark Youngblood hooks up with Danny Gage here on Texas All-Star Wrestling tonight at the Memorial Coliseum here in Corpus Christi. Another great crowd on hand. Youngblood from Taos, New Mexico, finds himself in a side headlock. Danny Gage. Gage squeezes on tight. Now they're back to the ropes. Here comes Gage, bouncing off the rope. A shoulder knocks Youngblood down. Big chop. Coming up later on, that main event, the cage match, the Cowboy Scott Casey against Chris Adams. That's yet to come here, plus another one of those big, exciting six-man tag team matches. I want to tell you, the cameras of Texas All-Star Wrestling will be at the Joe Freeman Coliseum on the 12th to pick up the finals of the Texas six-man tag team championship. You don't want to miss that. See who comes out of this one. I want to tell you fans also that in San Antonio, Texas All-Star Wrestling every Monday night at the Wrestlathon, 1704 Blanco Road. Youngblood whips Gage into the ropes. Shoulder knocks Youngblood down. Over the top goes Gage. Over the top goes Youngblood. Over the top goes Gage this time, and it's Youngblood another time, an arm drag. And Youngblood holds on. The Texas Cup matches are underway in Texas. If they're in your city, you don't want to miss them because the stars are in Texas in January with Texas All-Star Wrestling 86. Oh, look at Youngblood get that boot right up under the chin of Danny Gage. There's the war dance, a big tomahawk across the back of the neck. Ducked underneath that one by Gage, and there's that boot up underneath the chin again, and Mark Youngblood takes Danny Gage, whips him across the ring, judo chops him down, and here comes Youngblood flying weighing in for the press. It's 1, 2, 3, and Mark Youngblood wins it here on Texas All-Star Wrestling Memorial Coliseum, Corpus Christi. Stay tuned, because coming up next, up front with fantasy, right after this.
This is Gentleman Chris Adams here. Stay tuned to this channel to see me rip Scott Case's head apart.
Chris, I'd like to tell you what an extreme honor and privilege and pleasure it is to have someone such as your status on my show today. I'd like to thank you for being here.
Well, I'm really pleased to be here, but I can't do any interview until all you people shut up!
Well, you know what, Chris? These people don't know class when they see it. What do these people know anyway? First off, Chris, I'd like to start my show out by asking you, just what part of England are you from?
I'm from Stratford-on-Avon in England. You know where Shakespeare was born and where all the culture comes from?
Oh, yes, I know. I can tell you have the finest culture in Britain.
Well, listen, I just need to say to you that it's an honor to be on your show in front of a real woman. Why don't you just stand up so you can show everybody out there just what a real woman looks like? You see this? Slim, good-looking. She works out hard. She doesn't sit down all day watching soap operas, getting a big pot belly, and just sing. All you fat women out there, all your husbands sitting in front of the TV right now, drooling over this woman, just looking and drooling. No wonder you're jealous. You cannot get on unless you get out of the chair, go to the gym, work out. And you know what really amazes me? The women, they spend 3 or 4 hours in front of the mirror, combing their hair, putting makeup on. For what? They come out looking like 2 balloons. It's just not. Here's a real woman. Now you take notice and shut up when she speaks to you.
Thank you, sir. What class you have, I gotta tell you. You know what, Chris, you're a very, very nice-looking guy yourself.
Well, thank you.
And let me tell you, it's hard to give fantasy's approval. But you certainly have got my approval. But listen, Chris, I wanted to ask you another question. I hear that your brother was in the 1984 Olympics and that he won a silver medal. Can you tell me about this and what it was for?
Right. You see, my brother, like myself, is a judo expert, okay? He started when he was this size. He didn't start out watching TV like you people outside.
No, men in Texas.
He trains every day. He won a silver medal in the 1984 Olympics. He won a silver medal in the 1980 Olympics. He's won the World Judo Championship 3 times. And we come from a family with athletic ability and high class.
You think I don't know that? I can recognize true class when I see it, Chris. Let me say this to you. I see that you come from a fine family of great athletic ability and tremendous agility. I'd like to commend you on that.
Well, thank you, Fantasy, because I know it takes one to know one. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let me ask
a real woman, a real woman.
Let me ask you something, Chris. Did you get this from hard experience and work, or did this just come natural with your style and class?
Well, of course, I was born with it naturally.
Of course.
But of course, you're born with it naturally, but if you don't look after it, you won't keep it. So all you people who are born there naturally with some kind of gift, most of you just sit in front of the TV, like I say, watch soap operas all day, and you don't take it any further than that. The reason that I'm a superstar right now is because I work for it, and I want you people out there to know that I work for it, and to know why I am successful, and to know why this woman here will be the most successful woman on TV.
Now, we all know that this is the biggest superstar in professional wrestling today, Chris Adams. I've got another question for you, Chris. I want to ask you about your name, Gentleman Chris Adams, and you certainly are a true gentleman, in my opinion. Now, how did you achieve this name?
Well, the reason that I got the name of a gentleman is because I am a gentleman. I am a gentleman. All people from England are gentlemen. It's like you. You know, I know that you are a lady.
Thank you, Chris. And I know that you're a real man.
Okay.
I I want to tell you what an honor it is to have you here at Texas All-Star Wrestling. I've already told you that. But now, what are your plans? Are you going to be with us for a while, or did we just get very, very lucky for this evening?
Well, let me tell you about my immediate plan. And it's to smash Scott Case's head and run it right around the ring along that cage tonight. That's my immediate plan here in Texas All-Star. But I will be back. And anybody that wants to take me on, you know where I'll be.
Chris, do you think I could just give you a congratulations kiss on the victory that I know you're going to have over Scott Casey, that imitation cowboy?
Oh, sure.
Congratulations.
Hey. You know, Fancy, it was real nice being on your segment. And like I said, here is a real woman. She will be the most popular woman. Alexis has got nothing on this woman. You'll see.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Adams.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the introductions of this six-man tag team. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another six-man tag team match coming up. Well, we hope you enjoyed the Upfront with Fantasy, and next week, Miss Fantasy will be back with Austin Idol. You don't want to miss that one. Six-man tag team action, and you talk about monsters. We got them here. Both teams over 1,100 pounds. You've got the one-man gang, Big Bubba and Bobby Duncum, against the Zambui Express, Hacksaw Higgins, and the Ugandan Giant, Kamala. 2 referees for this one. We might need 6 referees for this one. Boy, these guys are giants. Remember, the six-man tag team tournament winds down at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio on Sunday, the 12th of January. We'll be crowning a new Texas six-man tag team champion. Of course, this match will have some bearing on that. Now, we had 2 of those matches tonight. That's 4 teams. For the finals, there will be 7. And the cameras of Texas All-Star Wrestling will be there to pick up the winners of the Texas six-man tag team championship. It's Bobby Duncum from Austin, Texas, against the man from New York City, Hacksaw Higgins. Higgins and Duncum, both 300-pounders. Everybody else in the ring is 400, so you can say that Higgins and Duncum are kind of small compared to the rest of the guys in the ring. Isn't that something when you're 300 pounds and you're not as big as everybody else? There's Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, with a big shot. The Zambui Express pounds ahead of Bobby Duncum. Temple, Texas, Mayburn Civic Center. That's the next time for Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road, and it happens on Wednesday, January the 22nd. Don't miss it in Temple, Texas. Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road. Tonight, we're at the Memorial Coliseum, Corpus Christi. The fans are enjoying it. We hope you're enjoying it at home. The month of January of '86 brings you the finest in professional wrestling from Texas All-Star Wrestling. Big Bubba in there pounding it out with the Zambui Express. Kamala started in. The General Scandor Akbar is outside the ring. Manuel Villalobos, the referee on the inside of the ring. Outside the ring is George Stevens. Texas Cup match is underway in Texas. Boy, there are a lot of stars entered in it. These guys you're seeing in the ring now are entered. Also, those Wild Samoans, Seeking Up, the Tonga Kid, Bruiser Bodie, the Wild Bull Ayala, Scott Casey, Chris Adams, and more. So don't miss the Texas Cup in your city. It's all happening this month. As you look at Big Bubba and the Zambui Express, and in the background you see Kamala, the Ugandan Giant. Now he steps out of the picture, and Big Bubba is making his way up. The fans are behind the United States heavyweight champion, Big Bubba, as he powers the Zambui Express down. The Zambui has the leg over that rope. Big Bubba and the Zambui Express. This is one of the semifinals of the six-man Texas Tag Team Tournament that has been going on throughout the state of Texas. Those finals once again at the Freeman Coliseum, San Antonio on Sunday the 12th. 7 teams will be in the finals, and we'll crown a new Texas six-man tag team champion. Be there. The cameras of Texas All-Star Wrestling will be there. Oh, the Zambui runs into Kamala's. Big Bubba, get out of the way. Here's the one-man gang is tagged in now from Halstead Street, Chicago, and the fans say moon, moon, moon. Look at the moon. Knock down the Zambui Express. He goes over to the Ugandan giant and Hacksaw Higgins slams their heads together. The gang tags out to Bobby Duncum. The moon holds the Zambui Express. Duncum is in swinging. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, a cage match. Chris Adams, Scott Casey, that's our main event today. You don't want to miss it. And next week, the American Force will be putting on their their Asian tag team titles on the line as the Asian Cup will be up. The American Force against Killer Brooks and Austin Dino in our big main event next week. We'll find Kamala, the Ugandan giant. You see him in the ring against Bruiser Brody. That's Bruiser Brody and Kamala next week right here on Texas All-Star Wrestling. Boy, I don't know anywhere you can go and catch the excitement of professional wrestling the way you're getting it from Texas All-Star Wrestling 86. The Ugandan giant pounding at Bobby Duncum. Duncum with some forearms knocks the Ugandan giant back on the rope. Here comes the one-man gang chasing General Scandor Akbar, and Zambui Express intercepts him. They're fighting outside the ring. Inside the ring, it's Bobby Duncum and Big Bubba. As now Hacksaw Higgins makes his way out in, he hooks up with Bobby Duncum there over the corner. One-man gang has made it back up on the apron, and so has the Zambui Express. Here comes the Zambui Express in now, and here comes the one-man gang. Big Bubba's in now, and Big Bubba has hold of the Zambui Express. The one-man gang is coming out. Oh, Kamala has got something. He is going after the one-man gang with it. And the one-man gang, it's that whip that the General Scandor Akbar carries. The one-man gang is taking it away from Kamala. The bell is sounding at ringside. There is the Ugandan giant outside the ring with the one-man gang. Bubba is choking the Zambui Express. Duncum hooks up with Hacksaw Higgins. 6-man tag team action. Remember, this is one of the semifinal matches. The finals will be at the Freeman Coliseum on Sunday the 12th of January. And these teams, at least one of them will be there, and maybe both of them, because I don't know what the decision of this match is going to be, as they fight all over here. The Ugandan giant is choking the one-man gang. Bubba is there with the Ugandan giant, as is Bobby Duncum, and we're going to try to get General Scandor Akbar to come up here with us as they still fight down the aisle. And Texas All-Star Wrestling 86 television on the road at the Mayburn Civic Center in Temple, Texas, Wednesday, January the 22nd, 7:30 starting time. The stars of the Texas Cup will be there. From the Japanese Pro Wrestling Association, you'll see the $1 million man, Bruiser Brody. From the AWA, it's the Ugandan giant Kamala and the 2 huge Zambui Express. From the WWF, it's the wild Samoan Sika and Afa. The Tonga Kid, also from the WWF. From Africa, it's the mighty Zulu. From Central America, it's the wild Bull Ayala. From Texas All-Star, it's the Hitman, the American Force, and Big Bubba. And from World Class, it's Chris Adams. Stars from more wrestling organizations that have ever been joined together will be there for the Texas Cup and Texas All-Star Wrestling television taping, Mayburn Civic Center, Temple, Texas, Wednesday, January the 22nd, 7:30, advance tickets at the Mayburn Civic Center. Be there and enjoy it and watch yourself on television. The American Force, the Hitman, have entered the Texas Cup. They'll be in Temple. There's a possibility, gentlemen, that you may be wrestling each other. Sean?
That's right, Steve. First of all, we'd like to say hello to everybody in Copper's Cove. Paul and I will be there, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody. But more importantly on our minds is the fact that one of us may have to wrestle the other. And right now we're in the process of being the six-man tag team and trying to win the championships. But we have discussed it with each other, and this is for more money than any of us can possibly dream about getting in one night. So we have agreed that we will wrestle each other if it comes up. We'd like to tell everybody, if you've never seen a TV taping, to come on out, because we've done it on the road a couple times now. We've had a lot of fun. We want everybody to come on out in Temple, Texas. Last time we were there was great. We want even more of you to come on out. We're looking forward to seeing you. And again, guys, $10,000. We got to go for it.
Just being put up, we went back to the dressing room and asked the General to come back here and talk to us for just a moment. Well, General, that was a wild six-man tag team match. Two giant teams, and a match like that, you can see how it got out of hand.
Well, that's just a small example of what happens when Devastation Incorporated is in that squared circle. And you'd expect more of it on January 1, 2, and I want you people to mark it down in your calendars for Joe and Harry Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, because that's the final of the Texas Six-Man Championship. And I told you before, and I'm telling you now, that Devastation Incorporated will have the other Zambui. I'm talking about Elijah Muhammad teaming up with Kareem Muhammad and the giant Kamala. And you tell me anybody that could beat that combination, and you know that you're barking up the wrong tree when you come against Devastation Incorporated. January the 12th. And we are going to be wearing the new Texas Six-Man Championship.
Well, General, there are 7 teams entered in it, and I'm sure there'll be some teams just as big as your men.
I'm aware of that, and you've seen some participants just a moment ago as big as my men, but they didn't get it done. And I'm issuing a challenge to everybody. And this Texas Six-Man Championship is just the beginning, because I'm going to own all the gold and all the belts that you've got in Texas All-Star Wrestling. And when the General talks, you listen, and things begin to happen right now. I'm a little angry because I've got my troops a little psyched up. January 12th. You mark it down in your books. Get up off your lazy dust and come to our Joe and Harry Coliseum, because you're going to see Devastation at its finest.
Thank you very much, General Scandor Akbar. The six-man tag team finals at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio on the 12th. You'll see the 2 Zambui Express with the Ugandan Giant in the finals. And now, let's go to the ring as the cage is up and pick up the action as Scott Casey and Chris Adams battle it out in the cage here at the Memorial Coliseum.
Now, both of you guys...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Gary Hart has stepped into the ring here on this cage match, and we're trying to pick up what he has to say.
I know what you are. You're as bad as you want to be. I know it. I don't know that. And as far as you're concerned, everybody knows how good you are. But you see, I have Bubba Bobby, the $1 million man. And I wanted to challenge the winner of this match, be it you or be it you, at the earliest possible convenience on television in a cage to let everybody know that Bruiser Brody is better than you and me.
Well, there you have the challenge from Gary Hart, ladies and gentlemen, as he has walked into the steel cage and has challenged the winner of this match to meet the $1 million man, Bruiser Brody, at the earliest possible date. Casey shows him what he means as he knocks him down, and I believe Gary Hart is going to get out of there right now. And the cage match starts. It's Scott Casey and Chris Adams. Oh, we're here at the Memorial Coliseum in Corpus Christi for a cage match strictly for television. Oh, and it's Adams diving into that cage. And Casey's Adams. The door has been closed now. Casey picks up Chris Adams, slams him to the mat. Casey is going up onto the top rope. Adams is right there. Adams reaches up, grabs Casey, and throws him down. Chris Adams has thrown Scott Casey off that top rope. Over again in 2 weeks, Texas All-Star Wrestling will be at the Mayburn Civic Center in Temple, Texas, with Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road. The camera crews will be there. Well, what exciting six-man tag team matches we had. Remember, those six-man tag team finals will be the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio on Sunday, January the 12th. We'll be there to pick up the action for you. Chris Adams holding on to Scott Casey. Casey tries to move just a little as Adams locks that sleeper hold on in from behind. The referee is George Stevens here in the cage match. Adams holds on to the side headlock. Oh, Casey gets him up and drops him across that knee. The Cowboy, Scott Casey, has dropped Chris Adams across the knee, and Casey went diving after him. Adams wasn't there. Chris Adams. In Stratford on the Avon. You saw him earlier here today with Fantasy. Up front with Fantasy. It's going to be an interesting segment. We hope you fans are enjoying the Texas Cup that has been in your city. It's already underway. And remember, the Texas Cup. In Texas, if it's your city, don't miss it. They lock up. See who comes out of this with the leverage. The biggest stars in professional wrestling are with Texas All-Star Wrestling, and they are touring in January throughout the state of Texas. Don't miss it. And now it is Casey locking the head of Chris Adams up that leg scissors. As the head scissored in between the legs. Adams with a headstand. Adams finds his head being knocked down into the mat. Chris Adams, Scott Casey. Next week here on Texas All-Star Wrestling, our big main event, Bruiser Brody and the Ugandan Giant Kamala. That's next week. Plus, the American Force defend their Asian tag team titles against Killer Brooks and Austin Idol. That's next week here on Texas All-Star Wrestling. Nice to see all the personnel from KRS TV Channel 6 here in Corpus Christi tonight as they carry our wrestling program every week. And they're here for the television matches this evening. Adams dives into the back of Scott Casey. Adams pounds the head of Scott Casey. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll be rejoining this cage match right after this. Be able to walk after that. Adams has him covered up. Here's the count. It's 1, 2, and the referee, George Stevens, getting a little bit of flack there from Chris Adams. Adams thought he had Casey pinned. Adams takes Casey, whips him across the ring. Kicks the legs out from underneath the Cowboy. Dives in there with that head right to the chest. Here's the count. It's 1, 2, and Casey kicks him off again, and Adams wants a faster count. Chris Adams reaches down, takes the head of Scott Casey, slams it into the steel ring. Chris Adams takes Scott Casey, brings him over this way, slams his head into the steel cage again. The fans begin to yell, Casey, Casey, Casey. There's a knee across the chest. Casey has a leg over the bottom rope. Adams complaining he didn't get the 3 count. Chris Adams takes Cowboy Scott Casey. Oh, he tried to suplex him. Casey turns it around, and it's Scott Casey suplexing Chris Adams. Casey has the fist ready, but he takes Adams instead, slams him into the steel cage. Ooh. I don't know why you'd want to use the fist anyhow. That cage is a lot harder. Here comes Casey. Brings Adam this way, right into the steel cage again. Scott Casey turning things around on Chris Adams. Here's a count from the referee, George Stevens, and it was 2. I'm sure Chris didn't want a fast count that time. Slam by Casey. Oh, and Adams gets the knees up, and Casey right into the knees. There's a fist to the back of the head. Another fist to the back of the head by Chris Adams on the Cowboy, Scott Casey. Adams has Casey up, slams him down. Chris Adams bouncing off the ropes. Shoulder knocks Casey back to the mat. Adams. Oh, it's Casey going in behind. Casey has him roll up. 1, 2, no, they reverse it the other way. It's Chris Adams holding on to the trunks and has Scott Casey down for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and Chris Adams wins it here inside the steel cage. Mark Nolte is complaining, the ring announcer is complaining that Chris Adams had hold of the trunks of Scott Casey. Casey now is complaining, the fans are yelling, the referee George Stevens is checking. Casey, oh, and there's a reversal. Scott Casey has his hand raised. Adams doesn't like it at all. Adams doesn't like it at all, and he is going after Scott Casey has him tied up in the rope. Chris Adams pounding that fist into the side of the jaw of Scott Casey. Here comes Adams again. Casey moves. Adams dives into the steel cage. There's a kick. Chris Adams comes out of the cage. And Chris Adams has come out of the cage. Casey has been declared the winner. Wait a minute. Here comes $1 Million Man and Gary Hart. Bruiser Brody, the $1 Million Man, has come into the ring. And Gary Hart has closed the cage, and it's Brody with Casey. Unscheduled Brody appears, takes the boot to Casey, and now there's that 2x4 that has appeared every time that Brody appears on the scene. And Bruiser Brody is here pounding on Scott Casey. He is taking that 2x4 right to the chest of Casey. Now he's trying to get to the referee, George Stevens. George, better look out or he's going to feel that 2x4. There's that 2x4 going into the midsection of Scott Casey. Gary Hart is there. You see him egging Brody on. Referee George Stevens trying to keep him back, but who is going to hold Bruiser Brody back? There, the bell is sounding. Scott Casey was the winner of the cage match, but he is not going to get out of here on his own as Gary Hart is motioning for the Metatrans ambulance service to come down to ringside with the gurney and take Scott Casey. We see the red lights, and there comes the Metatrans. Now, when you hear the ambulance, you know that Bruiser Brody is on the scene. Brody has pounded Scott Casey so much with that 2x4 that there's no way that Casey's going to get out of the ring on his own. The Metatrans people are bringing the gurneys. And you just saw Brody waylay George Stevens, the referee. Brody is coming out of the ring. The Metatrans people are coming in. Brody is going out through the crowd. And everybody steps aside as Brody moves through the crowd. The Metatrans ambulance service in the ring, and they'll be attending to Scott Casey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our time has expired here on Texas All-Star Wrestling. Don't forget, our big main event next week. We'll have the Ugandan giant Kamala against the $1 million man Bruiser Brody. Plus, you'll see the Asian Cup on the line as the American Force will defend that against Killer Brooks and Austin Idol. Till then, from the Memorial Coliseum here in Corpus Christi, Rapido Rodriguez and Steve Stack saying so long for Texas All-Star Wrestling on the road in 86.